Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at BBAI. It is time for another update, and today we will be discussing about the next levels of support that we can be watching out for continuation to the upside within one of the scenarios that we are tracking here in this overall uptrend. Now before we get there, I would like to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we are basically tracking a 5-wave move to the upside in the white scenario. So we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and now we are looking to develop the third wave to the upside, within which we are tracking a couple of patterns. So at this point, we are able to track this movement to the upside as both an impulse and as a leading diagonal. Yeah, this white move to the upside, this white scenario. And in that case, we have here in the third wave either the yellow interpretation in which we are tracking an ABC structure to be unfolding, or the wave, or not the wave, the blue scenario, within which we are looking basically at a wave 1 up. Yeah, this wave 1 would have been probably within the structure of a leading diagonal formed, but no problem. We then have here the correction in a wave 2, and we would now be tracking the third wave to the upside. At this point, we do not know even if we have actually already bottomed within this larger correction. Yeah, we don't know if this is the end, because even though we did manage to actually break above the relevant resistance levels, it doesn't seem to go. It seems to struggle quite a lot, and I am actually watching out for a reset. Yeah, it is likely that we might get a reset, but only if we actually end up breaking here below the current low that we have here locally. Yeah, we have here the $5.3 low, and if we break below that, well, it is most likely that we will follow through to the downside in a complete reset within either scenario. Yeah, within either the blue or the yellow interpretation, the reset could apply, and then we would be looking once again at the area of support between the $4.5 all the way down to the $1.9 level at the 78.6% retracement. Now in the shorter time frame area, we have here the path to the upside in yellow presented as a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then we would be looking here at the fifth wave to the upside, where basically we would be tracking an ending diagonal within the wave C. Now, if this really is to play out, I'm not necessarily convinced that this would be the entire wave 3 to the upside in white, because yeah, if we are to look for the ideal target in a wave 3, even if it is an ending diagonal or a leading diagonal or anything, we would still like it. We would still look for the 138.2% extension to be reached. Now, if we have already formed within the wave C, the wave 1, 2, and 3 already, yeah, I don't believe within this fifth wave we will manage to get anywhere close to that level. It is unlikely within a diagonal pattern that it would really be the case, but I'm not to say it might still manage to work out. However, I would probably be expecting with higher likelihood for this to shift into something like a larger wave A, another wave B, and then a C wave to the upside. Yeah, we would have basically an internal ABC within the wave A to the upside being formed in that case. That is what I would be watching out for. And then we have the blue scenario, in which, well, we would like to actually see quite a strong break already. This scenario is becoming less and less likely, at least based on the current low, to still push higher within the actual wave 3, because here we are basically tracking a large wave 1, a wave 2 correction, and then basically a series of 1-2 setups in this area, where we are at a point where it has become a little bit unrealistic to still expect a third wave to come, because after so many 1-2 setups, this third wave would actually have, well, quite very much extended prices, and the likelihood of this working out is overall decreasing with the number of 1-2 setups we would actually need to track. In the end, if this does turn into something like a 1-2, 1-2, could be nice. Yeah, that could be something with higher likelihood to occur than the series of 1-2 setups, but in that case we would once again shift to the idea of the diagonal pattern that we are tracking here in yellow, which is why I believe at this point, yeah, I don't really want to track internally this third wave directly within an impulse, and I will be shifting this structure in the diagonal pattern to white because this is probably more likely within either scenario at this point. And yeah, we can now shift and move into the shorter time frame where we have once again been tracking this additional 1-2 setup in this area, and we did even manage to hold the levels of support. We can put it back there if we indeed manage to form an explosive wave 3 to the upside from these levels, but I don't find that likely. So for now, we will solely focus on this idea of the ending diagonal within the wave C, within which, yeah, we have maxed out pretty much the area of support in this wave 4 correction, and we are looking to see if we can manage to form the fifth wave to the upside. So far, so good. We have formed a small ABC within this wave 4. We have the correction complete. Basically, we don't need any additional lows, and we have broken above the relevant levels that would have kept this movement to the downside with high pressure to still form additional lows. Yeah, we broke relevant areas of resistance that would indicate, yeah, we would push lower directly within this structure. So now we can look internally within this movement to the upside, and already we don't see a lot of structure. The best thing we can actually track here is probably something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and a 5th within a leading diagonal, in which case, sure, we may have here a 1, 2 setup, and then we can look for a third wave to the upside after we form a bottom in the wave 2. But unfortunately, within this wave 2, we may even be looking at a 5-wave move down, in which case, yeah, it is a warning sign. I am watching out for a possible extension within this area, and yeah, it is not too pleasant that we see such a structure in after this movement to the upside from the bottom of the support area. And yeah, I suppose it could still work out. We might be looking here at something like an ABC to still be the case, but since we did still extend even lower here, maybe a more direct ABC structure could be the case. At this point, I probably do still prefer an additional low. Yeah, maybe one more tiny low within this area could shift the structure back into a 3-wave move, or yeah, basically an extension here where we get, as I just mentioned, an ABC. Could be nice, but honestly, it is showing us a warning sign that this structure may not work out in the end, as we are forming quite a significant 5-wave move to the downside. Now, if we are to look for the resistance levels here for a wave B to the upside, we can actually track this in, yeah, let's say green, or even orange probably fits better, a different color. We would be watching out here for resistance at the levels between the $6.5 all the way up to the $7 level at the 78.6% retracement, where if we manage to break above this level, well, it would be a nice signal, a nice indication that this correction may have been done and that we may be ready to move in a third wave to the upside. But keep in mind, this is overall a wave 5 within which we are looking for an ABC structure to be unfolding. Yeah, even if this doesn't move to the upside in a 5-wave move, that isn't necessarily a problem, because a wave A could also be formed of an ABC structure, for example. Yeah, so no problem if we form something like an ABC and then this structure falls down into a quite deep retracement and we don't hold the area of support for the wave 4, the overall structure from a large time frame can still work out. It would be nicer for us to be able to track a larger 5-wave move to the upside. It would give us higher probabilities for a potential additional setup within this area, yeah, an AB setup. But if we don't get that, we should generally just zoom out to look at the larger 5th wave that we are in the end tracking within this area. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.